And it can change during the day, but if at the beginning of the day you don't have every minute planned, every minute that's white in there, how effective do you think you're going to be with that time? You're going to do what you feel like doing, not what you should be doing. Next, we have doing habits. All right, so with doing habits, there's our vocation, our avocation, and then I call out financial, right? There's a lot of other ways, other doing habits we could do, but financial is a big one. So vocation, you guys are going to talk a little bit about Simon Sinek's why, or your mission in life. For me, this is super important to align around my purpose. And so when I moved to Minneapolis, when I first got there for our office, I created our mission, vision, values, and belief statement. And really it was just a copy of what I had done in Lubbock. And I brought it and I'm like, you guys like this, right? And there was no power, like there's no buy-in. And so I'm talking to Reed and I'm like, this isn't going well. He's like, you think? I'm like, yeah. So we went through a process, a 3-month process where we crafted that and everyone got to put their fingerprints on this. And then at the beginning of every meeting, we put this graphic up there that has our mission, our vision, our values, and beliefs. And sometimes they hate it and sometimes they love it. Probably, if they were honest, they don't like it as much as I think they like it. But we tell stories. And I asked them, we will not move on to the agenda until we've told 4 stories of seeing our mission, our vision, one of our values, or one of our beliefs lived out in their businesses for the prior, week, month, whatever the regularity of our meeting is. And that has firmly rooted our mission or our purpose into the vocation of what we do. So much so that Monday, I have all of my advisors go through and share their business plan with each other for the next 12 weeks, and they have their own mission statement. And I stopped them because I was like, 75% of you have our mission, which is we live to lead others into building their best life, very closely aligned to mine. They had their own adaptation of that, but the fingerprints of that were all over. And it was very affirming to me as a leader to see that it's now permeated its way through the organization. So having a collective purpose and having your own individual purpose, but then reminding yourself of that on a regular basis.
If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button below so that you know every time I upload a new video so you can be encouraged and equipped to build your best life.
Calendar. I love calendars, if you can't tell. And I mean, when you read the book, you'll be like, this guy freaking says calendar on like every page. Everything is color-coded. Calendar invites are go out, like it's templated. I have a plan for 80% of the minutes of my day. And so here's the habit that I have around it. Sunday night, Tabitha and I will sit down. Sometimes we're laying down because we're about to fall asleep, but it's what's the calendar for this week. So she gets calendar invites when I'm done working, like what social events do we have at night? What am I doing through the day? And we go day by day through our calendar. Who's dropping the kids off these days? Who's picking them up these days? Who's staying with us this week? And we do the week as a whole. As I'm doing that, obviously, I see the holes in my calendar. Then each morning, as things adjust, clients, decide they don't want to look at I mean, your world's so dynamic, right? And it can change during the day, but if at the beginning of the day, you don't have every minute planned, every minute that's white in there, how effective do you think you're going to be with that time? You're going to do what you feel like doing, not what you should be doing, right? I know, it's the same way. So at least having a plan for every minute of the day, then you'll operate at 70 or 80% of that, and you'll make adjustments on the fly. But white space is the biggest waster of time. And that's where we get to the idea of doing more doesn't mean more hours. It's because there's a lot of white space in our life that we're not intentional about, that we can scrunch together. And frankly, then we don't have to work as many hours in our vocation, but we can spend it in our avocation, in our family. Last thing I'll say on vocation is mastery. So this is a simple story that illustrated to me that I need to do a better job of mastering the basics and helping my team master the basics. I watched a Facebook Live video of a guy, CEO of his company, and he's sitting there and his receptionist is sitting there. And they were drilling. And she was doing this. Thank you for calling XYZ Corporation. How can I direct your call? He'd be like, no, XYZ Corporation was too quick. Thank you for calling XYZ Corporation. How can I direct your call? Okay, be happier at the beginning. Thank you for calling it. And it was 15 minutes of them drilling, answering the phone. And I'm like, holy cow, that is focused on mastering their business. Now, I'm not saying we all need to like get that granular, but can you imagine if you were that granular on the processes in your business and were that focused on mastering what it is that you do? So that was like next level for me. And yeah, it's no surprise this guy's doing multiple seven figures in his business now because he's focused on mastering the basics.